Well, we've got Danielle Marmer on the show now. She's the general manager of the Boston Fleet. Danielle, what does it feel like to hear those words, Boston Fleet, after being PWHL Boston for so long?
It's amazing. It's so exciting to have an identity, a team name. Saying PWHL before every team name was getting a little tricky. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue as nicely as Boston Fleet. So I'm so excited.
I'm sure, yeah, the PWHL Boston, PWHL, other team names, that was kind of a mouthful. But to finally have a name, a brand, a logo, to not only just have these jerseys that say Boston on them, but to now actually have something that reflects the team. How do you think that kind of promotes some more unity now as PWHL continues?
I think the fans are going to be excited to get behind a team name and a logo. And I'm wearing the shirt right now, which I love the logo. The anchor, the idea of fleet. Boston has such a rich, nautical and maritime history. When you land at Logan Airport, like you flying over the seaport and the harbor, and you get to see it all. And to be able to connect that history to our team and this idea of being one fleet and ships being strong on their own, but so much stronger when they're together, and just feels like it reflects our team identity really strongly as well.
The hype video that PWHL Boston I guess now Boston Fleet put out of the ships like coming into the harbor, I was like, this is actually pretty sick. Like it was getting me fired up. I didn't know that awesome ships could fire me up that way, but I guess they can. What was the process? Go ahead.
No, I felt the same way. That video was awesome.
What was the process like for coming up with these names?
Very early on, I sort of helped highlight the identity of Boston, what the people of Boston care about, what we're all about. And then the league really took it from there. They have, professionals on the business side, the branding, marketing side, who made sure to come up with a name and a logo that really embraces the city of Boston and something that our fans can connect to. And I think they did a tremendous job.
When you had to list the characteristics that you thought really represented the people of Boston, what did you say?
I talked about it being a blue collar city, and there's a seafaring heritage to Boston, whether it's the Charlestown Navy Yard, the people in the seaport, the fishing history. It's a blue collar city. It's a hardworking city. And I think, when you think of the Bruins, when you think of the Boston sports teams, they all sort of embody that blue collar spirit, that hard work, and sort of lunch pail. And that's what I think our team embodies as well. So it all really connects nicely and really represents our city well.
I love that. And it might be a biased opinion of mine, but I actually think the logo is, not only is it really cool, but it's kind of like an anchor that's also a bee. I think it's just like really unique in a way. I love the colors that the Boston Fleet have. It's really cool to see just it all come together finally. After last season, there was a little bit of speculation where some names were possibilities and people were like, oh, is this going to happen or not? But I think what we settled on is really great. And I know Hillary Knight has actually talked about it too, to say, quote, now to have logos and names, I'm super excited for our fans to have that identity in Boston. But from Hillary and beyond, what kind of feedback have you heard so far that's been positive?
It's been so well received. I really believe our Boston fans have really embraced this name and our logo, and the comments have been so positive. People have been reaching out. The Bruins have reached out. It's just been so cool to see, the Patriots posting about it. I really think, our sports teams and our fans are embodying and embracing it and getting behind it.
Okay, so the fans love it, but how did you reveal this name to the athletes?
They found it the same way that the fans found out. So the way that, the video was posted, what was on the social channels. So it was fun to see them, on their TikToks, on their own social channels, making guesses and trying to figure out what the names were going to be and following along with the teases that were getting posted.
No, you're right. It was such a tease because I think the first clip that I saw was just, I don't know if it was a video or a photo just of like a wave. I think that's how like the first indication came out, but I was like, what does this even mean? So I knew it was something to do with like, I didn't know if like Boston Harbor was coming into the light there, but like It was just like a really unique way, I think, for the social team to kind of keep everyone on their toes, because this is probably one of the more anticipated parts in the next step of PWHL Boston to become Boston Fleet.
Yeah, it was so fun how they did that, like posting the secrets or the hints, I guess you could say, and seeing the comments and seeing people really anticipate that September 9th name and logo drop and the brand launch. I thought they did such a good job with it. And yeah, it's been a long time coming. Having a full season of PWHL Boston, I think this really sets the tone for year 2 and getting the fans excited about our season.
One of the fun things about having a nickname for a team is that it sometimes comes with additional traditions. So what are some potential additional traditions that are coming to the Boston Fleet games this season?
I'm so excited for our fans to really take, I think they're going to take the lead on that. Like I'm seeing in the comments, they're like, are we the crew now? Are we the Armada? People saying, when we go to Songus, we're going to the harbor. I'm hopeful that we can turn the Songus Center into, bringing the nautical themes. Are we gonna, pull up an anchor to start the game? Is there going to be a foghorn instead of a goal horn? We were having conversations on when you're picking your seats. Instead of saying behind the nets, is it the stern and the bow? Like I want the fans to. I'm hopeful that they really embrace this and just run with it and create their own. The little engagements and the things that they can get excited about during our games.
Those are all really great ideas. We'll have to pass those on to the the game presentation team, because they'll be able to implement all this. I think the foghorn was a really good idea there. But something else I need to ask for myself, for the fans, is when is this merchandise going to be available for people to purchase, whether it's the T-shirt you're wearing, jerseys, or whatever?
Yeah, merch is on sale right now. So if you go to the PWHL.com, select Boston Fleet, and you can find this shirt along with a whole lot of other gear. And then, soon we'll have jerseys as well coming up, so you can look out for those.
All right, Danielle, I think we have time for just about 2 more questions. And one thing that I want to make sure that we get in is, how would you describe the identity of this team that's coming back to Boston, especially after they were able to make that big playoff push last season?
Yeah, I mean, that playoff push happens because of our culture, because of the identity of being one. I'd say unity. I'd say we were resilient. We persevered. Those are just a few of the words that come to mind when I think about this team. They really came together when it mattered the most and did what was best for the team. It was a real team effort. And that's what's so cool about being named the Fleet. That's, a fleet is a team. It's moving forward and trying to accomplish something as one. And I think that's exactly what our group is all about.
Now, entering season 2 here, I know, I guess we'll call them the Minnesota Frost now. They took the trophy last year, but this year there's a lot more on the line. We have team names. We have a fan base who is just going to get more passionate from here on out. But I think just the generic question here for the fans who might be watching is, what can we expect excitement-wise, whether that's from on the ice or just in the Songus Center and beyond, the team that Boston Fleet is now? How do you think the fans can do their job just as much as the team is to make sure this year is just as successful, if not more, than the first?
Yeah, the energy the fans bring makes an incredible difference in the momentum of games. And so getting our fans hearing and feeling their presence at the Songus Center, it's huge. And, another thing when we think about some of the traditions that are going to happen with our team, like this idea of all hands on deck, that includes our fans. And so if they can be a part of this and they can help us to put a couple more wins in the win column just from their energy and their momentum and keeping our team going, we welcome that. We expect that. And we're excited to have them along on this journey with us.
All hands on deck. I love all these ship references. I think that people are going to have a field day with this. Well, Danielle, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck this season.
Thank you.